Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to draft a 180 degrees flare, 360 degrees flare, and 720 degrees flare. So we'll go ahead and do for 180 degrees flare first. So for 180 degrees flare, let's assume we're working with a waist 28. Let's assume you're working with 28. This is just an example. If you know what your waist is, you go ahead and impute it. Your waist divided by 3.14. So let me explain. If you're making a peplum top, you know that place that you're going to add your peplum. You're going to add this flare. Just measure round it, and whatever you get, divide it by 3.14, right? Measure round it properly, including the zipper allowance and everything, right? If you already sewn it, that means the side seams are not included, right? It's just the zipper allowance. Please go ahead and measure whatever you have as your waist measurement, or if you're adding it to a skirt or your hip, wherever you're adding, just go ahead and measure it round. Then whatever you have, divide it by 3.14. So for this, we're using 28 divided by 3.14, and what we have is 8.9. So go ahead and measure yours, and whatever you get is what you're going to be using for this 180 degrees flare. So after that, I went ahead to cut out my pattern paper. I'll be using a pattern paper. So please, if you're practicing for the first time, I advise you use a pattern paper before you now transfer to your main fabric. So I'll be making use of this small pattern paper. Yes, I'm just going to cut it out here and this. So go ahead and fold your fabric into two, just the way I am doing, and fold it again, making a triangle, right? From their point, please observe where I am starting from. Yeah, from that point, you come down by whatever you have as your waist measurement. That is after you've divided and everything. So you come down by whatever you have. I'm just using this because my pattern paper is not enough to do 8.9. So I'm just using 4.5. So after that, you mark it all round. Mark whatever you have all round like this, and then from there you can go down to your actual length. That is the length you want your flare to be, making sure you add your allowance, your sewing allowance, which could be 1 inch or more. So go ahead and mark your length, your flare length. After marking it, what you're going to do is to cut it out like so. Then from this upper part, I advise you add a 1/2 inch allowance, so that while you are attaching it to your main fabric, it won't be too wide, right? So just go up by 1/2 inch for seam allowance, and then cut there. By the time you're sewing it, you're sewing on the actual line. Yeah, so that is it for 180 degrees flare. You can see it is a 1/2 circle. So that is it. The next thing we are going to do, we're going to be doing is a 360 degrees flare. Now for 360 degrees flare, what we are going to do is to divide your waist measurement by 4, right? Whatever your waist measurement is, divide it by 4. Just like we did in 180, I explained in 180 degrees flare. Whatever your round waist is, wherever you are attaching this circle, this flare, just measure around it and divide whatever you have by 4 for 360 degrees flare. So you fold your fabric like this or your pattern paper like so. Please observe how I am folding it, right? Now you fold it again, making it 4, right? Fold first and then fold again. And on the folded part is where you're going to be starting. Please, before you start drafting or before you start cutting, please make sure you have enough fabric down to accommodate the length of your flare. So I'm also going to be exaggerating for this, right? So what I am going to do is to place my tape like so. I am assuming that I had 3.5. That is after dividing my waist by 4. I assumed that I had 3.5. So if yours is 7 or more, whatever yours is, please go ahead and place your tape like this on the folded edge, and then you can go ahead and mark it. Whatever you have from that first mark, you can now mark it all the way around, right? After marking it, please go ahead and measure again to ensure you have your actual measurement, right? So from there, you go down by your flare length. Go down by your flare length. So I'm using 4, just the end of the paper. Then you mark, and don't also forget to add your sewing allowance. Yeah, that is and also your hemming allowance at the down part. So after you are done, go ahead and cut it out, right? So for this, we are cutting. So after drafting this, you are going to be cutting it out like so, and then cutting out the up part. So this is what you're going to have. You can see it is a full circle, right? So this is what is going to look like when you sew it on your main dress, right? So the next thing we're going to do is to draft the 720 degrees flare, right? So for the 720 degrees flare, what we're going to do is to go ahead and draft 720 degrees flare. So for this, we're going to be dividing our waist measurement by 8, right? We're going to be dividing our waist measurement by 8, and we'll cut out 2 pieces of it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and fold my pattern paper the way it should be. So if you have enough fabric, or maybe you're not managing fabric, you can go ahead and fold everything at once and cut everything at once. But if you're managing fabric, I advise you do it one, like cut the first one out first, then you can place it on another fabric and then cut it out. This is how you fold it into it for the 2-piece, or you can go ahead and cut it out one by one. So I'll be showing you how to cut it out one by one. We'll cut the first piece out first, and then we'll do the second one. So go ahead and fold your fabric into two like this, and then fold it again like this, right? Just like we did in 360 degrees flare. Fold your fabric into 4, making sure that you're starting from the folded edge. From there, you put your measurement just like we did in 360, and we cut it out. So after you've cut it out, the next thing you're going to do is to place it on another folded fabric. You fold your paper just the way you folded it before, and then place the two folded edge facing, or rather siding with the other two folded edge, just the way you did the first time. Then cut it out, and that is it. And there you have your two piece of 360, right? It's 360, which will give us 720. So go ahead and open it up one side, then join it together from one edge. Join it together from one edge, and there you have your flare or your peplon, whichever one it is serving for you. So that will be all for 720 degrees flare. Please leave your questions in the comment section, and if you have to rewind this video to start again, please do, so you can understand everything better. So guys, this is the end of the class. See you in my next video.